I'll tell you where you shouldn't get engaged. At another person's wedding. Yeah, it was bad. But I also got engaged at Zuma Beach in California on a cliff. Much better than the first one, actually.
Oh, do we have a story here?
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Tess. And this is We Gather Too,
your wedding survival guide from two pros who've seen it all and lived to overshare.
We bring the style, the chaos, and just enough inappropriate laughter to get the side eye during cocktail hour.
Remember, love is sweet, but planning is feral.
But don't worry, we've got you.
Welcome to We Gather To, your brand new favorite wedding podcast, where we, two very seasoned, maybe slightly unhinged wedding pros, gather to guide you through the chaos of planning your big day without losing your minds.
And we gather to do more than dish about family drama and food options. And we're here to help you have a wedding or an elopement or a love fest or a backyard taco party, whatever feels like you, with minimal stress and hopefully no casualties.
So you're probably asking, or maybe you're not asking, who are these people and why are they actually gathering, and do they have any qualifications whatsoever to gather for us?
So many qualifications. First of all, we have 50 years combined experience. That's half a century, if anybody's counting, between the two of us. We've both been married, we've been brides, we've been engaged. We have seen rabid foxes, naked men in koi ponds, you name it.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to share your story about the naked man in the koi pond someday. Maybe not right off the bat in the first episode, but maybe, I don't know. And we've definitely been brides ourselves for sure. And, you know, most of the times we felt like we were totally winging it. We definitely made so many mistakes, tons of mistakes. And we are here hopefully to help you not make those same mistakes.
Learn from us and what not to do and what to do. I've been married once. I've been engaged 3 times. And my wedding day was, I can't remember it. Not because it wasn't meaningful and beautiful, but because I made some poor choices in the beginning while getting ready. I've been a makeup artist and a hairstylist I had been doing it for about 10 years before I actually got married. And on my wedding day, my mom and my sister-in-law and everybody who needed hair and makeup decided that they wanted me to do it. And so I had 0 time to get myself ready, and I'm sweating and I'm like so stressed out. I'm trying to get the dress on and I hate my hair, hate my face. And my sister comes over and she sees that I'm like really struggling. And she's like, I have a helper. Do you want to take this little helper? And I was like, I don't think so. But I was like in this cloud, just trying to get everybody ready. I had 3 kids. I'm trying to get them. I'm texting back and forth with my future husband about getting the kids ready. And I'm trying to get my mom ready and my sister ready and everyone else ready. And I just was like lost. And so I just took this pill. I didn't even ask her what it was. Fast forward to about 25 minutes later while I'm doing my eye makeup. And I'm like, okay, whoa, what was that? I am so tired and relaxed right now, but I was so tired. Everything sort of turned into a dream state where I really floated through the next 2 hours, but not really grounded in it either. And so that was a deep regret. And I know that medicating on wedding days isn't that uncommon. I've witnessed it myself over the course of 2 decades of doing weddings when it, and I'm talking about alcohol and taking drugs. Don't take drugs. Do not take drugs on your wedding day. And if you want to remember it, do not take drugs. No. I mean, I'm so sensitive to everything that it was really just a really poor decision in the moment. Like it was just kind of one of those things where I was like, I am so stressed out. I am not going to have fun. And I'm not a drinker. I don't really love alcohol. When I have a glass of wine, I am in bed, like nap time. People are always like, come out for a drink. And I'm like, you're going to carry me home. It's not going to be fun. And so I didn't drink on my wedding day, but I didn't need to.
So did you even remember anything? Like, did people give you bits and pieces? How did you figure out how your day went?
Photographs. how all of us remember anything? Photographs. If it wasn't for, and here's this is coming from a wedding photographer. This is rich. Okay. So we were on a super tight budget. We got married at this place in Silmar, California. It was a beautiful ranch at the base of a mountain, stone walls, apple trees, fruit trees everywhere. It was really beautiful. I remember because I visited several times and I have photographed several weddings since then. But when we were trying to put our budget together, we did not have money for photos. And at the time I was not a photographer, I was a makeup artist. And I didn't have the connections that I have now where I'd be able to just call somebody and be like, I need you to come shoot my wedding for me, please help. And I didn't have that then. And I was a little bit new to California. And so I wasn't deeply embedded in the wedding world like I was 10 years later. So I settled for the family friend who said they knew what they were doing, but had absolutely no clue, which is really obvious from the photos. If I could find them, I would show you, but they're buried somewhere.
It's funny that you said that because I did exactly the same thing. So
No,
it
you
was,
didn't.
I did, and I do have the photo album to prove it. And it was actually one of my closest friends' boyfriend's cousin who was starting her business. And honestly, we are so going to do an entire episode on
Yeah. Yeah.
just this because
Yeah.
I'm going to share that story because I
Yeah.
actually bring it out for clients now
Oh,
to
you do
show
as
that
a
album
cautionary
of
tale.
exactly. It's I mean, I
I
hope she's
love
not
it.
listening to this. It's horrific.
Yeah.
But at my own wedding, I stayed sober. That is probably a questionable choice, perhaps given how everything went. But we're advocating for nothing. So I'm gonna say I stayed
Right.
sober. I had the 4-day big wedding, being an Italian from New Jersey.
Oh my
4 days,
God.
had boat rides, golf outings, parties, clam bakes, like a day after party. And the day after party was a blast because that was breakfast and everyone came in kind of looking a little rough. And everybody had stories about, like, okay, who hooked up with who and who got arrested and who got fished out of the pool naked. And yes, those were all true from my wedding
People got
stories.
arrested at your
Oh
wedding.
yeah, and fished out of the pool naked at the resort. Oh yeah, it was
Oh,
stories.
wow.
But and it's not that I didn't love my wedding. I did, but like there was some serious stress, and my groom disappeared. His friends kidnapped him from the rehearsal dinner to go to a Chucklehead concert. No heads up. Nobody told me anything. Everybody's walking around going, oh, so the groom got cold feet and left you, huh? And
Oh
like,
my
also, it was
God.
just, and the next morning,
Wow.
it was a band called Chucklehead, and I literally almost chucklehead the wedding off. My mom had to talk me off the ledge and back into getting married, and the rest is history. But holy cow. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
which kind of brings us back full circle to why we're here, to help people and guide people, because you're going to have stories of your own and you want to be able to laugh about them and not have them stress you out.
Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to look back on their wedding day and feel shame,
No,
which I
definitely
feel
not.
a teeny tiny bit about. I feel a little bit of shame.
Well, you didn't know. You didn't know what you
No,
were.
but
You
yeah,
just
I
wanted to
mean, I
feel
didn't
more
drop
relaxed.
acid, but it was definitely not a good choice. I mean, I know my own body, and it's funny because when you're in a stressful situation and you're kind of like, I mean, it was to the point where I felt like, oh my God, I'm feeling fight or flight right now. Like, I either want to run away or go to bed, or it just really got to the point where I wanted to check out. And I guess
Yeah.
that's kind of what I got.
Yeah, you checked out a little bit. I guess at the end of the day, we're here for you because we get it. We know you're going to be nervous. We want you to have fun. There is definitely a fine line between the buzz, the little light
Hmm.
buzz, or,
Hmm.
the my cousin thinks she's a tree now and won't get out of the aisle kind of situation.
It just makes me think about there have been so many weddings where I have showed up and the bride and groom, or I usually don't see the groom first, I see the bride first, but the bride is in a state of There are a few different kinds of reactions, I feel like, to the wedding day. There's the bride who is like, I am so happy to have my family here. I am so psyched to be surrounded with people that love me, and they're in it, and they're embracing all of that, and the rest of it is secondary, like the dress, the hair, the makeup, all of that is kind of like, I'm here to to gather with the people that I love and be held in my love with my man that or woman that I'm going to go forward and spend the rest of my life with. And it's a celebration of that love. And then there are the weddings that, have really high expectations. So say you spent $30,000 on a place with a spectacular view, and on your wedding day it downpours or there's thunderstorms or it rains, and you've invested all this money for this experience that you want to give your guests, and it's hampered by weather. And I find that weather and stress are the two things that contribute the most to couples kind of like, oh, I'm going to have a drink, or I'm just going to take that out of Ativan and feel better going forward. Because
Is that
there's
what you
such a
took?
I think it was Ativan or Xanax or one of those downers. It was
Oh, those baby
definitely a downer.
benzos. Yes.
Definitely a downer. And I'm someone who really, I don't like feeling tired or going to sleep. I'm a waker, like I drink too much coffee and I'm a caffeine seeker. And so for me to take a downer was just like, who was I even that day? And my mom was like, "What is wrong with you?"
I keep having these visions of you. Do you know the old 80s movie? Is it Pretty in Pink? No. Which is the one? Oh, 16 Candles. It's 16 Candles, where
Yes.
the sister takes the Valium and she's just
They
and
like
she took
drag her down the
like
aisle.
3 of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, and she keeps sitting on everybody in the pews on the way down, and she's like, I'm just so tired, and she keeps taking off parts of her veil. And by the end of the time, the groom is getting, lifting her up to try and get her into the limo, and she's like, wee, and wearing the chauffeur's cap. And I'm like, why do I have this vision of you?
It was
And
a
then she falls
subdued,
asleep in the back of the limo.
it was a subdued version of that. And I'm trying to think back of like the things that I do remember about that date. Now, granted, you got to give me a break because this was like 20 years ago. Okay, so it's been a long time, a really long time. I don't remember my first dance, which really kind of bums me
Mm.
out a little bit. I remember bits and pieces about this ceremony. I remember Thomas was only 6 or 7 at the time, and the boys were all dressed in these tuxedos that we had rented. And we had this idea to do the unity candle, and we'll have 2 boys hold the unity candle, and then the third boy is going to hold the matches or the lighter. And oh my God, trying to figure out which boy was going to hold the matches, we didn't trust any of them for it. So we're doing the ceremony, and I can't focus on anything except for the fact that Thomas keeps rubbing the candle up and down his chest on his tuxedo because it was so heavy that he couldn't hold it. And so he kept kind of like holding it against his belly, and it would slide. And I'm trying to say my vows, and I'm looking over at my kid, and there's just white candle wax all the way down the front of this tux that we had rented. And
Oh
I'm like
no.
stoned. So I'm like, we have to return that, and we're never going to get the safety deposit back. I just couldn't even. Yeah.
Well, at
Don't
least
do
you
drugs on your wedding day.
yeah, at least he didn't set himself on fire.
No,
I
that was,
guess
we gave the matches to the older one, and I could see him playing with them in his pocket the whole time.
Oh
And
my
all I could
gosh.
picture was like the 2 matches hitting each other. Like,
Oh my god. I guess at the end of the day, oh, and this comes back to, why we call this We Gather too, because, there is so much like you were saying, gathering with your family and your
mhm.
love and everything at the wedding, but there's also things to gather ahead of time, so that it does help you relax and enjoy your experience. And we want to keep you centered. We want to keep you clear-headed. We just really want you to have an amazing day. And, so that's why we're here. And really, we want you to look at us as your sanity toolbox. And we'll bring you resources and tips and all sorts of good things. And we might even sprinkle some happy glitter dust on your planning process, like metaphorically. Please don't put that shit inside your invitations. It sounds really cute, but when your guests open up, they will hate you for life. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. By the way, for the record, we're more like your Xanax fairy godmothers in spirit, but, not in actual dosing, please.
Maybe with a giggle stick here and there thrown in. Yeah, you definitely. Xanax may be a little bit too to describe us. We may be more of like, I don't know. I don't do drugs anymore, so I don't really know what the drugs are out there. But
Yeah, I
we're an
don't.
upper, Rachel. We're definitely an upper
We're
for sure.
definitely uppers. I live on chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate and yeah. But in the future episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure I'm not missing anything, but we're really going to walk through everything. We're going to help you
Yeah.
picking your vendors and dealing with family drama,
Mm-hmm.
figuring out the order of things too, because like right after you get engaged, it's really so exciting and you're on all this high and emotions and all this. And then you're like, oh crap, what do we need to do? And so, so sometimes we're going to even pretend like we're a couple getting married so that we can walk you through the decisions you would need to make, like, the questions that you want to ask, because, by the end of everything, we all get to know you and you feel like family to us. And I know everybody here, all the professionals want to help you feel that same way, because a lot of
Yeah.
times we've been there, we've been in
Mm-hmm.
your shoes. We just want you to love your day, and we want you to keep the focus on the love you have for each other.
And I think an important step in making sure that you love your day, and this goes, of course, with all things in life, planning ahead of time for everything is how you end up with a smooth day.
Mm-hmm.
And as a DIYer to my core, I can definitely say with confidence that delegating, planning, allowing other people to help you, giving jobs to people in your family, making an outline, all the things that I don't do in my everyday life, that's what you have to do anyway.
So are we supposed to be the practice what we
Organization.
say? And
Organization. I am so good at telling other folks how to do stuff, and I can plan out somebody's life with bullet points and how you go forward and how you do it. Not so good with my own, but I'm really good. Somebody called me a manifest generator the other day, which I really liked.
I think when you get your ducks in a row and and you get the right people, that is so key. Like I tell people all the time, when you hit about 72 hours from your wedding, let it go. Just let it go. You put fabulous people in place, you put professional people in place. You just want to experience it and
And you
have
want to be
fun and
part of
enjoy
it.
people. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
You want to be
like,
part of it.
that planning ahead of time and that putting the right people in place. And it's a lot of what we're going to talk about in the different episodes, the people and the planning
Hmm.
part of it. And also, the emotional mental health pieces of keeping yourself grounded. That's
Huge.
all to come. Huge. It's a huge piece.
Huge.
And then let it go and just go get married and enjoy your experience.
And I want to say too, just about the planning thing. Most people plan a year ahead of time, sometimes 2 years ahead of time, sometimes 15 months ahead of time. But you can, if you have a solid plan and you have a good outline and you have the right professionals, do everything in a consolidated time frame. It's so much easier to put something together quickly.
Yeah,
And
of all different kinds. So, we're going to help you with, a kind of a last minute elopement to, well, a 4-day large Italian wedding, complete with all of it. Been there, done that.
I love elopements and small weddings so much. I can't. I would plan elopements for my job. That's how much I love them. I really do.
I'm just excited, to talk with you all more. I hope you all stick around, hang out with us with all the episodes to come. We have a lot of information and a lot of really cool people that we'll be talking with. And at the end of the day, you don't really need to do drugs. We'll just bring it right back to the drugs. You don't really need to do drugs to have your magical day. You just need to have a plan. You just need to, have a grounded way of approaching it. definitely a sense of humor.
Even if just listening to us makes you laugh and relieves a little bit of your stress during the process, we've done our jobs. It really is about making it fun for couples to go forward in this, because how you plan your wedding, and first of all, I highly encourage couples to plan their wedding together. Do not let one spouse do all of it, because you're like, guys have a tendency to do this sometimes where they'll just be like, oh, it's her thing, it's her thing, it's, I'm letting her handle it, she's the boss, she makes all the decisions. And I think that that is a missed opportunity for a couple to kind of figure out who they are together as one. Embrace this thing that you're building together. Write your vows together. Do things together. The best weddings are when couples stay together, when they move around together. When they separate and I have to hunt them down and get them together for pictures, that's a bummer. I really love couples who stay together, seem to have the best time, I feel like.
I
Yeah.
love that you're bringing this up because this is probably the perfect place where we'll wrap it up for today, because we're going to talk about that in episode 2 about who are you really getting married for.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Bye.
Take care.